Hi guys, I am back with another movie review. So I am reviewing the movie Life Itself. I wasn't planning on reviewing it, but I got invited to a screening last week from a Southeast rep for Amazon Studios. You know, I kind of thought I was special because I'm like, okay, I'm getting personal email invites now. I don't have to go to the screening online thingy. But anyway, I am doing a review. I went out and got to watch it at the main theater in Atlanta. And this was depressing. Well, I knew it was going to be depressing because the actual writer and creator of This Is Us wrote for the movie. So I knew I was going to cry. I was like, alright, let's go ahead and go through this. Also, there's going to be mild to full-on spoilers ahead. So let's just get into it. So there's basically kind of like 4 parts of this movie. Basically, we have part 1 where we have this couple in college. I can't remember. I think one guy's name is Will and the other one's name is Abby. They are college sweethearts. We get to see their whole relationship. We see them get married. We see them, get ready to have their first baby. Then tragedy strikes and Abby dies in a freak accident. Basically, years later, we see Will coming out of a mental institution, and he's in therapy with a therapist explaining everything, from the start to the finish of his life with Abby, because, that's the thing that triggered him into a mental institution, and he ends up committing suicide in front of the therapist. So, this part of the story, I knew, you kind of expected that something bad was going to happen, because the way it presented itself in the trailer, it was just really, kind of not, what was the word? I keep thinking back to like high school English, was kind of the dramatic irony. Like, you kind of know what's going to happen, but you're just waiting on it. And, with this situation, it's like, okay, we know this guy's in therapy, he lost love of his life. At first you think, she died, but it's kind of leading you in the mood to believe, okay, maybe she left him because of a drinking problem or because of depression, but it turns out that she died. And, we see him where just basically shuffling in between his therapy session and his life with, with Abby. So that's the conclusion of part 1. Now part 2 is actually meeting with their daughter. She survived the accident. She lives with her grandparents because her dad is, it's not clear if he's in the mental institution or after he commits suicide between this time, but she's with her grandparents. There's an accident where her grandma died and her dog died, and all she has left is her grandpa. She is a musician, she's in a band, and while they're performing, she gets in a fight with a cat caller, not a cat caller, it's like the person that boos people in the audience. He gets in a fight, it gets physical, and she basically goes outside and cries. And that's where we leave her off in that part in part 2. Now part 3, we see 2 people. We see this old rich guy and his stable person. So the stable person, he has this beautiful, beautiful girlfriend. They decide to get married. They have a son. They live this life in Spain on the winery farm, and they decide to go to America to visit New York. Why? We do not know. And it turns out that the son, who was like 4 or 5 years old, basically he goes to say hi to the bus driver walking up, and it distracts the bus driver. They're hitting a pregnant woman. The pregnant woman was Abby. So basically this is how these 2 families intercross with each other and how it just lined up. So we pick up into part 4 of the story. Part 4 is years later. The son is like a young man. He's with the old rich guy that is kind of looking after him. His mom's dying of cancer, and he goes off to New York to kind of fight himself outside of the space that he's been in all this time. And he walks and meets this girl who's sitting on a bench, and the girl sitting on the bench is Abby and Will's daughter. So we see them kind of like fast forward through this future together. They get married, have kids, and the person who's actually narrating the whole story, we thought it was Abby, but it's their daughter, like Will and Abby's granddaughter. So I was like, wow, this is really depressing. This is a really depressing movie. Like, you kind of know it's like sad, but like there's like that glimmer of hope in there. I was kind of being like I don't know, I have like little side comments I have in the movies. I'm just like, so did the chick know that, like, did he know that he was in the bus and he made the, yeah, I was one of those people that was like, so did he tell her? Did he remember, like, that day? Like, she must have told him, like, his mom, how her mom died, so I didn't know how he broke the news, or, because apparently the daughter knows, so I'm thinking the mom knows too, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll be cool with him. That's a lot of internal stuff I gotta get through, and homegirl, she's trying to get through her own problems, so yeah, I sound so horrible, but I'm just being straight up honest. Anyway, the movie overall, give it like a C+. It kind of made me cry a little, but it was kind of making me feel depressed. Like, it was just death after death. I'm just like, man, can we have a happy moment? But anyway, I digress. I'm giving y'all my review now. It's kind of not doing so great at the box office. It's open at number 11, and it's kind of one of those smaller movies. And you know, if this had come around, I wouldn't say like Thanksgiving. If this came around, like, I don't know what time it would have come around. If it came out mid-fall, like October, then it would have been cool. I mean, right now there's a bunch of other movies that are kind of like taking over. So if it had like an October release, then it would have been cool. You know, it's getting the fall vibe. Appreciate the people you love, all that. You know, yeah. Anyway, that's my review of life itself, and I don't know how I got roped into this. I just got to see a free movie. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. If you want to get free movie tickets, I have the link to advancedscreenings.com down below. Let me know what you want me to review next. It's your girl. Peace out. My love, and have a great week.